Hello, it's Steve from the CRYPTOZOOLOGY Paranormal Museum, talking about stuff that has nothing to do with the museum right now except for the infrastructure and the heating. As you can see, I finally got one of these MRCOOL mini splits set up, and you can see I've got it at 85. It's just in a test mode, and it's producing some decent heat. I'm impressed. I was kind of concerned when I first plugged it in, but of course, since I have the wood burning stove going down here to maintain temperature, it was kind of hard to tell. It's the first time I've ever installed one of these. Don't mind the mess in here. I've got everything pulled apart. They come with this unit here, which is the outdoor unit. You can see I was using all my Ryobi stuff to do it, which is kind of funny. I have DeWalt tools too, and they do a decent job, but they're the first ones to die on my batteries. My Ryobi's pulled through. This is the head unit, like I just showed you. It comes like this. And I'll show you the outside. And here's a remote. I just mounted that temporarily on the wall, which is the thermostat stuff. Which is a little bit of a learning curve on that too. Go outside. And this is, I don't know if you guys don't know the house. It's a big old house. It's an 1850s house, over 4,000 square feet. You can see it's my wood pile there. Keep the place warm. Just give you an idea of the back of the house here. It's big. So I'm going to need at least 4 of these 1-ton units just for the downstairs. You can see it's a big old place, 3 floors. Now we don't really use the 3rd floor at this point, but we will. The first one I put in goes into the den. And you can see the wall here has got some rot on it, so I put this one on the ground. It's just temporary for the time being. You can see it's running. And the tube set, the part that covers the tubes, I don't have yet. I've got the electric hooked up. I'm going to recut this. It's a little bit too long. Thank God the panel is right here. And I have a 200 amp service. The next ones are going to go through the wall here and then through the wall on the 2nd floor. So I'll probably put either a double or 2 separate units here. I have to decide what I'm doing. Like I said, I've got one more head left. It's either going here or on the other side of the house by the dining room. But like I said, it's an old money pit, old haunted house. Has a steam system in it, and that's what died, or dying. Got a slug of mud in from the water main. Clogged the auto feed. We didn't know. Next thing I wake up, smell of something burning, and that's when we realized that we had a boiler running with no water in it. And those are dogs. Lots of rescue dogs. So I took a chance on getting these. The other place where I put one is going to be in the dining room here. I know it's kind of dark. Probably above where the radiator is now. Through the wall, which would be a good spot, or over here. And then I'll have to go into the museum. You can see it's a big old house. We haven't even touched the 2nd floor yet with these units. I've got stuff running. Now, where I showed you on the outside, I'm going to punch one through roughly here. Right now, I'm supplementing an electric heater here by the radiator. So we got a little bit of everything going here, wood burning. And I'll probably need another one back here. And that one will probably go up here. And that will involve me having to move the TV. So everything involves something here. This will be the last one I put in. Because if I can get 3 to do the downstairs, 1 in here to cover the museum, even if I have to put a fan in for now, then I can quick jump and concentrate on the 2nd floor. So if I can get 3 tons to kind of satisfy the 1st floor, then I'll see if I can put 2 or 3 tons of cooling and heating on the 3rd floor. It's a little trickier, a little higher up, messing with things, but hopefully that will do it, and we'll see. Anyway, so things I've learned by doing the 1st unit. The Templec, you gotta cut the Templec. They give it to you in a full sheet, and I should probably have had it with me when I talked to you about this, but the problem with the Templec is I laid it up, marked it out, of course I used the level, drilled the holes, found the studs. Now on the back of the house is a newer part. It's 1937. This part here, I don't know what the studs are going to be. So I might actually have to place a piece of wood up on to mount the bracket onto. Well, anyway, you got to drill a 3.5-inch hole through from the inside to the outside. And that's for the tube set to go through. And you want to have a slight pitch going down. When I marked it out, it turned out, because of the way I used the template, my fault, I had it dropped a little lower than I should have been. So the tube going through is a little bit visible on the bottom of the wall unit. No big deal. Everything fit, went through. The stuff they give you to squeeze is like a clay material to pack the tube when the tubes go out to keep wind and stuff coming through. Nowhere near enough. I mean, I worked it, and I even stuck a piece of flex, armor flex for insulating pipe in before that to help fill it in, and I still had this caulk. Actually, it was handy to be able to see in there a little bit. Actually, I used one of my Ryobi caulk guns and caulked in there, so I've got probably much better seal than most people do. Now, there is a kit that's going to go over the tube set and come down the side of the building, and that will help too, and I'll probably be able to stuff some insulation in there once that's going in. The other thing, basically, I had a leak on the unit. It wasn't my fault. The base of the unit, you have two fittings that come in, and everything's color-coded. It's very simple to install. Well, the upper one, the fitting that goes on into the L, when you open it, you don't open that till you get everything up and soap tested, and these lines are charged. When I started to turn on, it leaked at the base, which is nothing you install as a homeowner. It's something that comes pre-installed. So that was an oops from the factory. And I snugged it and snugged it and snugged it, and eventually I had to take the tube set off because I was losing all the gas out of it. I might have lost all the gas for all I know. And then I physically removed that part, and I could see it was almost looked like it was kind of slightly cross-threaded. I used Teflon tape, not on the beveled part, but just on the threads. Put it back on, very thin Teflon tape, and snugged it back up, and then put the tube set back on. This time I didn't get a leak. Soap tested it, finished hooking up the rest. And then I'm going like, I'm taking a chance now. When I opened up the Allen wrenches that you use to open up the unit itself, which is pre-charged, that's the bulk of the gas, I didn't seem to get a leak. I soap tested, I didn't see anything, so I think I'm okay. I called the company, and I called the company I bought the things from, but I called MRCOOL too, and I got put on a leave your problem, we'll get back to you later sort of message thing. I left them both messages. They both did call back hours and hours later, but they both did call back, and I got to say, Ingram, who I bought the two units from, were the first to call back, and then MRCOOL was later. At that point, I was packing things up and cleaning, but they both agreed that if I lost the bulk of the gas in that tube set, I should be okay. Everything in the unit itself's overcharged. So those are the only two things I've kind of run into with the training thing here. One was kind of me not aligning the hole going through the outside. Oh, plus I had a little of an angle too. So I'm gonna use a square the next time when I drill through to make sure as I go through the wall, not just to have the angle, I'm right this way. So it goes through, so the tube's not a little bit of an angle. It wasn't terrible, but little things like that. But like I said, the leak is something I gotta check. I'm gonna go through the unit before I hook it up, make sure it feels like it's snug, and hopefully, at least if I see a gas leak, I'll know enough to back it off right away. I picked up a set of adjustable wrenches just to have some nice new ones. Well, I'm sorry I did that. I'm using my old wrenches. The ones I got were Harbor Freight. They're terrible. The jaws rattle. Whole nother story. Same Ryobi doesn't make wrenches. I'll probably just use a set of open-end wrenches. I do the next one. Just be a little easier to have something that fits 100%. Beyond that, it's up and running. I'm impressed. I got both these units. They're both 1-ton units. Came with pretty much everything. They don't come with the base. They don't come with the brackets to mount them on the walls. No electrical stuff except for the cord that comes from the head unit into, which is all color-coded and numbered, goes into the condenser outside. But all that comes with it, insulation, soundproofing, tape to wrap things. I got that for roughly a little over $2,200. And that's 2 units. That's 2 tons of heating, cooling, which is a pretty good deal. And so far, it hasn't even been 24 hours. We seem to be happy with the 1 unit. I'm going to start. The museum's open today. I've got people coming. So I'm not going to be able to get the other unit installed today. I'll probably start marking out studs and see what I'm dealing with there. And since I'm dealing with the old part of the house, Lord knows what I'm dealing with. What's going to be in the walls and that sort of stuff, or how far the studs are going to be. So this is going to be a little inventive. And that's what the bulk of the rest of them are going to be. So this will be the next test. And but otherwise, I just want to do a little video on this. And I got to say, the Ryobi stuff, once again, these are just little lights, but all my other tools in there work great. Like I said, my older DeWalt stuff, which I got it here. I was using my 18-volt DeWalt drill to drill through the wall. And like all lithiums, when they die, they die. I drilled 1 hole through the house Now, it has been used before, and there's no way to check these batteries. That's a problem with the other ones you do. You can actually check them. It's the big plus to see how far charged it is. So you're kind of just winging it here. And I couldn't find the extra battery. That's how much I'm using the others. I was drilling the hole from the outside with a 3.5-inch hole saw, and it just died. That was that. So up so much, back off the ladder, go get another drill, plug this one in, and I decided to use Ryobi for the rest of the stuff, and flawless, not a single problem. So as much as people consider these more commercial, and they might be a little heavier duty than some of the Ryobis, I'm having better luck with the Ryobi. I mean, just the simple fact that I couldn't tell where this battery was at. So that's basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about. We're still plugging along. This has been something that's totally part of 2020, 2021 with all the craziness. It's keeping me from getting out of here. I'm a prisoner. I'm still babysitting the boiler. We're still using the boiler. The sooner I can get these in, I can shut that boiler off. We're like, you know, we're attached to that thing. We've become one with the boiler now. Sooner I can get rid of that, the better. We put a hot water heater in, so the domestic water is taken care of. I've got to get at least another 2 of these units in, and I'm hoping that will heat the downstairs, the first floor enough, and we'll get enough migrating up. And then we'll start putting some upstairs. But that's kind of where we're at. And I do apologize. I'm getting a lot less videos, and then even posting videos like this where I'm talking more about tools than in AC and stuff like that. But that's all part of running a museum and maintaining an old historic building. Don't forget we have these guys in, little danglers. They're selling like crazy. I've already got to order more. And we just got some more hoodies in. We just got to make them. But anyway, please, if any of you guys are interested in this or thinking of doing these do-it-yourself systems, they're quite easy. I mean, it's just take your time, follow the directions. And I did this yesterday, stepping and fetching for tools, running to the hardware store. I had to put breakers. I actually did the tie-in in the panel myself and everything, finding the right breakers. And I had people even coming in to the museum. So I'd have to stop, bring some of the hand tools in, come to the front of the museum and entertain them and do the whole bit. So, you know, with all that, probably if I be organized on the next one, I'm thinking from soup to nuts without any real major problems, I would think a 4-hour install tops. You know, so no issues. I worked on it from, I guess I started around 9:30, 10-ish. And that's, I had to make, do some runs to the local hardware store, things like that. I even had to buy a hole saw. I didn't have a 3.5-inch hole saw. They didn't have one on the rack. Thank God they had one on the back. They were changing out suppliers. But, I mean, things like that, I really wasn't 100% prepared. So I would say, but even yesterday, I had the unit in by probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I had to get electric to it. Electric took a little bit longer. You know, I was a licensed plumber, not an electrician, so, wiring doesn't scare me, but the panel I'm uncomfortable with. So I shut the panel totally off, popped the breakers in, and then actually I put even a second breaker in for the next one, so it's already in place. But it works. I did it safely. You got a little cleanup to do out there as far as making things look a little prettier, but I think everything is 100% otherwise. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys are ever thinking of doing one of these, hopefully I've helped you out with some of the craziness I'm doing and learning here. Like I said, I've got at least 4 more to put in, maybe 5 or 6 more. So it's still going to save me a small fortune compared to the prices I got. The cheapest guy I got, this is not the hot water heater, just mini splits for the house, was $17,000. So if it ends up costing me $6,000 or $7,000, I'm way, way ahead of the game. And plus, I'm going to be comfortable and know these units inside and out. I'll do another little thing talking about the remote. The remote's tricky. It's got a lot to it. And I don't see many videos online about that. But as I get more comfortable with the remote and playing with that, I'll show you that. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching our videos. I'll talk to you soon. We appreciate you guys supporting the museum with everything from donations to anything to help us out, keep this thing going. We do not charge admission for the museum. This is why we ask for donations, and I hate to do kind of the begging thing, but at times like this is when we kind of kick ourselves because it makes it all the tighter between the pandemic and everything else. And now setbacks like this make it rough. But we'll get through this, and we'll get back out there, and hopefully soon, the ParaCon, which is coming up. April 24th, we hope. Let's see. And but hopefully things move forward. So I'll be talking to you soon. I just want to post a little video showing that we're slowly creeping forward. Today is Saturday, so we'll have people coming through. We'll be open a little bit. All right, I'll talk to you soon. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.